Have you ever looked around and wondered how many people are quietly fighting battles no one sees? How many smiles are hiding storms? How many people laugh in public but cry themselves to sleep at night? We live in a world where silence is the loudest cry and pretending to be okay has become a daily routine. If you've ever felt like you're holding yourself together by a thread, this message is for you. And if you stay with this video until the end, you'll understand something that could change the way you live forever. You see, pain doesn't always show itself through tears. Sometimes it hides in the way someone withdraws from conversations, avoids eye contact, or suddenly stops sharing how they feel. People say, "I'm fine," when they're actually drowning. They keep going, smiling, working, showing up, but inside they're running on empty. And what's terrifying is that this has become normal. Feeling mentally and emotionally drained isn't an exception anymore, it's the rule. But here's the truth: just because you're functioning doesn't mean you're okay. Society has trained us to value productivity over peace, to hustle, to keep moving, to ignore how we feel for the sake of results. And so most people walk through life like machines, efficient but empty. They've mastered the art of hiding, but deep down they're craving one thing: peace. Not success, not attention, not applause, just peace. Psychological exhaustion doesn't scream, it whispers. It shows up in procrastination and irritability, in feeling numb to things you used to love. It's the weight on your chest in the morning, the overthinking at night, the voice in your head that says you're not enough, even when you're doing everything you can. And because these struggles are invisible, people assume you're fine. But the truth is, many are one tough day away from breaking. And it's not weakness, it's not failure, it's not being dramatic, it's being human. We weren't designed to carry everything alone. We weren't made to bottle every emotion and bury every hurt. But somewhere along the way, we were told to toughen up, stay silent, and smile through the pain. And that advice is breaking people. So if you're feeling tired, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually, know this: you are not alone. Your feelings are valid. And there's nothing wrong with needing a break from pretending. This isn't about giving up. It's about finally telling yourself the truth. I'm not okay. And that's okay. Stay with this message, because what comes next might just help you see yourself in a way you haven't before. There is a way to heal. There is a way back to peace. And it starts with understanding what psychological well-being really means. Keep watching, because your peace is worth fighting for. So what does it actually mean to be psychologically well? Because it's not just about smiling or being positive all the time. It's not about avoiding sadness, fear, or anxiety. Real psychological well-being is about how you handle life when it gets hard. It's about your ability to face pressure without falling apart, to sit with discomfort without losing yourself. It's about creating inner peace, even when the outside world feels chaotic. Many people think they'll be okay once everything around them is calm, when work is less stressful, when relationships get better, when things finally slow down. But life rarely gives us that kind of perfection. The truth is, peace doesn't come from what's happening around you. It comes from how you respond to what's happening within you. That's why taking care of your mind is not optional. It's essential, because the state of your mind shapes the quality of your entire life. When you're mentally healthy, you make better choices. You speak to yourself with kindness instead of criticism. You bounce back faster after setbacks. You stop basing your worth on how productive or perfect you are. You stop chasing approval from people who don't even understand your heart. Instead, you learn how to be there for yourself, how to sit with your emotions without judging them, and how to walk through storms without losing your soul in the process. Psychological well-being is the ability to breathe when everything tells you to panic. It's choosing patience over anger. It's letting go instead of holding grudges. It's giving yourself space to heal rather than forcing yourself to move on too quickly. It's realizing that you don't have to be strong all the time. You just have to be real. And real strength is found in truth, not in hiding pain. We live in a world that celebrates toughness and overlooks tenderness. But the most powerful thing you can do is take care of your mind like it matters, because it does. The mind is your engine. It drives how you think, how you act, and how you feel about your life. And when that engine is tired, neglected, or ignored, everything else suffers: your health, your relationships, your dreams. Taking care of your psychological well-being doesn't make you soft. It makes you smart. It means you're choosing to lead from a place of wholeness instead of burnout. It means you're choosing long-term peace over short-term performance. And that choice will change everything. Because when your mind is right, everything else follows. You love better, you think clearer, you sleep deeper, you live louder. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to pretend you're fearless. But you do need to be honest about where you are. That's where healing begins. That's where peace enters. And from there, the real transformation starts, not from forcing change, but from finally allowing it. If psychological well-being is so powerful, why do so many people ignore it? Why do they delay healing and keep running on empty? The answer lies in what we've been taught. We grow up in a world that rewards hustle over health, a world that praises working overtime but shames taking a mental break. From a young age, we're told to be strong, to push through, to never let our emotions show. So we learn to bury them. We learn to wear a mask. And over time, we forget how to be honest with ourselves. Most people don't neglect their mental health because they want to. They do it because they think they have to. They're afraid of what others will think. They're afraid of looking weak. They're afraid that if they stop moving, everything will fall apart. But here's the truth. Nothing breaks you faster than pretending you're unbreakable. The cost of silence is high. It shows up in burnout, in failed relationships, in sleepless nights, in the sudden feeling of being completely disconnected from life. Society tells us to chase success, but rarely teaches us how to stay sane while doing it. We're told to be productive, but never how to be peaceful. We're told to stay busy, but not how to be present. And that's why so many people feel like they're winning on the outside, but losing themselves on the inside. They have the job, the house, the applause. But inside, they're tired, restless, and empty. Another reason people avoid addressing their mental state is because emotions scare them. We're taught to believe that pain should be hidden, not handled. That if we ignore the sadness, it will disappear. But emotions don't vanish just because you push them down. They grow, they wait. And they come back stronger through anger, anxiety, depression, and sometimes even physical illness. The truth is, ignoring emotions is like ignoring a fire alarm and hoping the fire puts itself out. It doesn't. It spreads. There's also this dangerous idea that strength means staying silent, that asking for help is a weakness. But in reality, it's one of the most courageous things you can do. Facing your mind takes more bravery than faking a smile. Healing takes more strength than hiding. And yet, most people are taught to just keep going, to numb it, distract it, laugh it off. But that never works for long, because deep pain always finds its way back to the surface. It's time to unlearn what the world has taught us about emotional health. We need to stop applauding burnout like it's some kind of badge of honor. We need to stop shaming rest, silence, and softness. Because sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop and say, I need time, I need help, I need to feel. You are not a machine, you're a human being. And human beings aren't built to suppress, ignore, and fake their way through life. They're built to feel, to grow, to connect. So if your mind feels heavy, it's not a personal flaw. It's a sign. A sign that something inside of you needs attention, not rejection. You don't have to keep living like this. You're allowed to change direction. You're allowed to prioritize your peace. Because your well-being is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Healing doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't come with a single decision or a magical moment. It's a process, slow, silent, and often uncomfortable. But it's real, and it starts with awareness. The moment you stop running from yourself and start listening to what your soul has been trying to say all along, that's when the shift begins. Not in loud victories, but in quiet choices. In the decision to stop ignoring your needs and the courage to sit still and truly feel. You don't have to fix everything at once. Start small. Start with something as simple as getting honest with yourself. Ask, how do I really feel? And then sit with the answer. Don't rush it. Don't judge. Just let it be. From there, you take small steps, daily habits that protect your peace. That might mean creating time for rest, choosing who you spend time with, or even saying no to things that drain your energy. It means setting boundaries without guilt. It means choosing to breathe before you react. One of the greatest forms of strength is learning how to pause. In a world that worships speed, the pause is powerful. When you pause, you give yourself space to respond instead of react. You give your nervous system a break. You give your thoughts room to settle. And in that stillness, you start to hear your own voice again. The voice that's been buried under pressure, expectations, and noise. Asking for help is not defeat. It's a sign that you care enough about yourself to heal. You are not meant to carry it all alone. Whether it's through a trusted friend, a mentor, a journal, or a therapist, reaching out is not weakness, it's wisdom. And every time you allow yourself to be seen and supported, you release the shame that says you're supposed to have it all figured out. No one has it all together. Everyone is healing from something. And that's what makes this journey so human, so beautiful, and so real. The change that happens when you take care of your mind is quiet but undeniable. You start to sleep better. You start to smile without forcing it. You stop walking into every room feeling like you have to prove something. You begin to enjoy moments again, fully, deeply. You stop living in your head and start living in your life. That's the reward of protecting your peace. You begin to feel safe inside yourself. And when you feel safe within, the world outside loses its power to shake you. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be whole, to live in a way where your mind, heart, and soul are aligned, where you wake up without the weight of pretending, where you no longer have to numb your feelings to get through the day. Healing gives you your life back, not the life others expect from you, but the life that actually belongs to you. Peace is not a destination, it's a daily practice. And every time you choose to protect your mind, every time you pause, reflect, and reset, you are rewriting your story. You're no longer just surviving, you're starting to live. And in that quiet transformation, you begin to discover the version of yourself that was always waiting to be seen, heard, and loved. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are human, and that's more than enough. The fact that you've made it this far, carrying invisible battles and still showing up, speaks volumes about your strength. But strength doesn't mean suffering in silence. It doesn't mean living every day feeling heavy inside. You deserve more than that. You deserve peace. You deserve clarity. You deserve a mind that feels like a home, not a battlefield. The world often convinces us that our value lies in how much we do, how much we give, how much we endure. But true worth comes from within. It's not about achievements or titles or what others think. It's about how you feel when you're alone with your thoughts. Do you feel safe? Do you feel whole? Do you feel free? Because that's what psychological well-being offers. It gives you freedom, not just from anxiety or fear, but from the pressure to always be something you're not. When your mind is calm, your life begins to shift. Your decisions become clearer. Your relationships become deeper. You stop reacting from fear and start responding with purpose. You stop chasing validation and start honoring your truth. This is what it means to truly live, to feel present, grounded, and emotionally in control. And the best part, this kind of life isn't reserved for the lucky. It's available to anyone who decides to start caring for their inner world. No one else can do this for you. You have to choose it. You have to protect your peace like your life depends on it. Because in many ways it does. Your mental well-being is the foundation of everything else. Without it, even the best days feel dull. With it, even the hardest days become manageable. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to speak kinder, dream bigger, and love without fear. And that kind of life is worth fighting for. Give yourself permission to pause, to rest, to cry if you need to. You don't have to have the answers today. You just need the courage to begin. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to take one honest step forward. Each day you choose healing, you reclaim a piece of yourself. And over time, those pieces come together into a life that feels real, peaceful, and free. Let this be the moment where you stop surviving and start healing. Let this be the moment you decide that your mind, your heart, and your soul deserve care. Let this be the moment you choose yourself. Not because you're selfish, but because you're finally ready to be whole. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to find joy again. And it all begins with this simple truth. Now, always